platform is independent, and we wanted to work with everyone across the spectrum. So folks are invited to share what they know, and the viewers make their choice, and we ask the questions and we give the opportunity to answer.
This craziness, man, I do not care. Why am I so anti-establishment? Because of what I've seen the establishment do to people. That's why I cannot be pro-establishment.
Power is in the hands of the people. And it really did. What we all witnessed is the government, they knew that they're heading in the wrong direction. They knew Gambians are speaking in the same voice.
What law in the books that says the government has power come out and go after folks' private citizens' properties and demolish them because somehow the government interest?
The only way that we can salvage our country is when everybody gets their hand dirty. Don't sit there with your expertise and just to procrastinate everything that people say or pontificate, what everybody says or does. Let's get our hands dirty.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Another Sunday, 40 people by the people. Hey, it's going to be something else. Some of my fans who are basically tuning in expecting 3 panelists, well, you're lucky. You have me alone. They're not too crazy about me. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to deal with me and me alone. But saved by the bell, we have Dr. Jaye Ceesay. She's actually going to be my co-panelist. Dr. Jaye, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. How are you, Mr. Jeng? It's a pleasure being here.
Doing well.
Hope all your viewers are doing well.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've always heard about Dr. Jaye, but from interesting, my wife is actually, she listens to you every suma waxee mu taajal ma suma reer bi mu ne ma maa ngi déglu Dr. Jaye ma ne ko Dr. Jaye nag dinaa ko alamaan. Everybody listens to Dr. Jaye.
Well, I'm glad that she's following instructions. She's trying to be healthy, and no wonder you're looking young and amazing. So,
thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Dr. Jaye, no, without a doubt. I mean, every now and then I will tune in and listen to your health programs. I mean, I didn't really know. I mean, I know Joka is the political animal. So for you are that, But I mean, and I'm talking about, I know that your comfort zone. But before we go through all that, today, actually, the conversation is going to be about politics and specifically about this effort that you guys are launching to bring the opposition parties together. I mean, that is going to be the main conversation. But knowing that you do talk a lot about health, people with diabetes and high blood pressure and cardiovascular. And then the past week in Senegal, everybody is talking about this Pape Jallo and Djiby Dramé and this homosexuality and then the HIV. I thought maybe we'll take 5 minutes, 10 minutes to talk a little bit about that, because that is something that is, I think, I seriously believe dear to your heart. And I also think very relevant and important. Yeah. I mean, I remember HIV/AIDS all the way back in the late 80s when Magic Johnson came out and he had AIDS. Oh my God, all of us were so scared. Looking at Magic, we thought he was going to die. Magic is still here with us. But Dr. Jaye, what is this whole HIV thing? I mean, what's your take on what is happening in Senegal? And if you were to talk to Gambians, just summarize. And then can you maybe delve into that a little bit to some of our people that are watching, really?
Yeah, it's crazy that you bring me on when this whole craziness is going on about health. I think you really perfectly planned this very well, because this is my area that's honestly dear to my heart. And even the last, usually I'm on live on TikTok every Sunday around 3 p.m. Eastern. So
Okay.
you taking into my time for my patients today, or my followers, but that's okay. It's all in one umbrella, under one umbrella. But my
Exactly.
take on the HIV and the gay and lesbian thing that's going on right now, it's
Mhm.
um, you know, it's very difficult
Mhm.
understanding the situation that we are in Africa. It's our culture doesn't really accept those type of behaviors, or
Mhm.
the LGBT. It's not very welcome, uh,
Mhm.
which is well understood. And but the reason why this is a little bit more hard to even comprehend is the fact that you have these celebs that are well known, that most people really believe in them, so they were not expecting it. So a lot of people are going through a crisis of mourning, just
Mhm.
like if they have a death in the family. Basically, a lot of people are mourning for the loved ones, for the love they have for these people.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying what they're saying is true. It's just an allegation. So I cannot sit here and say everything out there is 100% accurate. The only
Mhm.
problem I have from a health perspective is the fact that it is spread out to say these people have HIV, which is
Mhm.
100% wrong, because we already know the stigma around. So even if this is an allegation, and even if they find them guilty, they
Right.
still shouldn't have put it out in public for people to be aware that these people have HIV.
Mhm.
Yes. On the other aspect, I want the Senegambian community to remember that this is not a new disease. It has been here, and it used to be really bad, like you said,
Mhm.
because the health system did not have those type of treatments back in the days. And
Mhm.
now it's much better than before, even though the awareness is far less. I
Mhm.
think we came to be very comfortable with the disease to the point that people stop thinking about protection. People stop thinking about being honest with themselves, just keeping one partner instead of running around, because a lot of people are scared about the HIV now. And I'm like, what happened like 6 months ago? I did a video on 6 months ago to alert people that even in the US, the disease has become even more rampant
Mhm.
between the ages of 13 to 25.
Wow.
Yes, it has really increased in the Texas, like Houston, Dallas, Atlanta. And I
Mhm.
believe Atlanta is also because of the underground community, meaning you
Mhm.
have some men that don't identify as gay, but they still go underground, like
Right.
what is going on in Senegal currently.
Exactly. Mhm.
So I would just tell everyone, please get tested, find out, and you should get tested at least every year if you have a partner, because you can only vouch for yourself. You only know you, but you cannot vouch for anyone else. And people that are denying that this is impossible, no, it's not impossible,
Mhm.
because we are humans. We all make mistakes. We all indulge in certain activities that
Mhm.
may not want to come out in public. But definitely get tested, because if you get tested and you identify that you have the HIV, then you can be put on medications to help you where your viral load will be undetectable, and
Mhm.
then you can live with it and not transmit the virus.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, I'm going all the way back to the late 80s when this thing was seen as a death sentence, and it
Mhm.
has killed a lot of people. Is it really still a death sentence?
Well, yeah, it is still a death sentence if you don't get tested. Because the reason why it is still a death sentence is the fact that if you get the virus, it can last in your system from 8 to 10 years. It's
Mm.
if you're healthy and you have no way of finding out. So the only way that people find out if they get tested. So if you get tested, then you can live with the disease and something else would probably take your life and not AIDS. But if you don't get tested and you wait until you have symptoms, then at that point, you most likely are no longer just an HIV carrier, but you are an AIDS patient. And if you once you're an AIDS patient, it takes a lot of work and treatment before you can become where the viral load would not be tested. So in our community, it is 100% a death sentence because we don't go to the hospital unless we are sick. And by the time you are sick, you're almost dead. That's why you hear people say, oh, nothing was wrong with the person. We just got up one day and the person died. No, there was something that was brewing. You just might have not known, or you did not know how to pay attention to your body to tell you that there's something going on. It wouldn't be a death sentence if people do take the precautions and get tested, get treatment, and stay healthy.
So what do you say to some of the Gambians, you know, how they are, bro, no, man, I'm not gay, I don't have sex with men, so basically I'm protected. What do you say to them? And also, why is the disease so rampant within the gay community? Is it just a gay disease per se? What is about it and the gay community? And I mean, if you can...
No, it is not just a gay disease. It's a disease for every human being as long as you have blood and you have semen and you have breast milk, because those are the three modes of transmission. Semen coming from a man or a woman. So if you're a man or a woman, you must have these serums, right? So
Exactly.
if you have blood, then you definitely have the risk of contaminating the virus, especially if you're sexually active. It doesn't mean if you're gay or not. The only reason why the risk is higher in gay men is because of the method of their sexual intercourse, because they go through the rectal area, which is very vascular, and it's a very thin mucous membrane that can be easily permeable. Like, for example, let's say if you have a hemorrhoid, or even if you get constipated and you go to the bathroom, you would see that you have some blood on your stool. So it is inserting an object that is bigger, or even exerting an object that is bigger than the canal, would definitely rip the mucous membrane. And that is why most of the time the gay people are more likely to transmit the disease than a non-gay person. And I hope that is helpful. It's just because of the way they do the sexual intercourse. It has nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman. Even if you're a man and you are straight, meaning you only have one sex partner and it's not another man, your chances of contaminating the disease or contracting the disease is really far less likely than if you're a gay person. And a lot of gay men tend to more promiscuous, I'm sorry to say, than most regular one-sex partners. I'm not saying that women and men that are married are not even promiscuous. We do have that, and that is one of the reasons why you have it in our community, not just the homosexuals, but the all sexes are bound to have those increased risk factors. But if you look at Senegal and Gambia, I think in Senegal, it's about 27% of the gay population, or men that have sex with men, that do have HIV, versus 0.3% to 1% of the population, which reflects the Gambia as well. I think Mr. Jaye has gone out. Hopefully he will be back. But for those of you that are listening, I cannot see the comments, so it makes it a little bit difficult to see the reaction of the people. However, once again, what I would advise people to do is to try to get tested and do the best possible. I don't know if you heard my response.
Dr. Jaye, you there?
Yes, I am still here. Did you hear me?
Dr. Jaye, are you there?
Yes, I am still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Like I told you just before we came on, my internet has been acting up.
But
So
what was I still on? Because I was still talking.
I think that that's why I said you just keep talking because sometimes my internet kind of act
Mhm.
crazy. So sorry about that. This is something I
No
have to
worries. No worries.
about it.
No
Yeah,
worries.
yes, exactly. If I ever go out again, just keep just keep talking. People were hearing you, so
Okay.
hear you. Yeah, but like you were saying, clearly, I mean, it's not necessarily a gay disease alone, and that everybody that is out there thinking that you are immune, I mean, it can happen to anyone.
Yep.
And I guess your idea is now, what do you say to people that they would every year they will do their annual test? Now, when we talk about your annual test, does it always include HIV, or do you have to specifically say, I want to be tested for HIV? What do you? I mean, how do you?
No, your annual test doesn't always include HIV.
Mhm.
You can request for it. So in the US, at least, you can request for it. So that way your doctor can check all the other sexually transmitted diseases. You just tell them that you, like for most people, when you come to the doctor to report that you want to be tested, either most people will come in as to say, I just have a new partner and I
Mhm.
would like to be tested, or I am suspicious that my partner may be having an affair. I want to be tested, or
Right.
I'm about to get into a new relationship and I want to be tested, or it's you just doing your annual checkup and you tell your doctor that you would like to be tested for any sexually transmitted disease. So you're not just going to be tested for HIV, but you will be tested for all the
Exactly.
other diseases like chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, uh, trichomoniasis, herpes, and hepatitis B. I usually test for all the hepatitis, especially if you're, and there's a protocol that we have to follow in the US. Like if you were born in the 60s, we need to check you for hepatitis.
Mhm.
However, if someone is coming from a foreign country, especially a third world country like Africa and such, I always test them for hepatitis. And you would be able to identify a lot of people and prevent a lot of complications, and as well as sexually transmitted diseases. Like I check for it every year for myself, and I recommend it to all my patients that you should get tested at least every year, and that will help you out. That way, if an accident happens, then you are bound to find out. Especially even if you work in the healthcare system, you should try to get tested once a year, because we deal with a lot of blood, we deal with needles all the time, so you can accidentally poke yourself and not even be aware. So these are things that I think people should make it a standard for themselves and get tested every year.
So, final question on this topic: in the absence of getting tested,
Mhm.
and you have HIV, is there any other way? You know how diabetes is sometimes they say Yangi Marndo, Yangi 7 alert, that's an indication that the sign is there. For HIV, are there anything that one can say, oops, I'm feeling a certain way, let me go get the test?
Well, I was laughing. I made a video, an educational video, and I'm going to probably put it on today. And I said to the people that we've been asking, how do you identify who has HIV? I tell them, someone like me, I do have HIV. So if you can tell that, then you can definitely identify. And I said, my mom is probably going to be like, why did you do that? People are going to go around and say you have HIV. But that being said, it's just to tell you that the person that has HIV looks
Right,
just like me and you, because you don't
exactly.
have any symptoms. Like if you have diabetes, I can tell you, if you get up at night, you're feeling thirsty and you peeing a lot, then you can suspect yourself that possibly you may have diabetes. Go ahead and get tested. But for HIV, you do not have any specific symptoms just because you have HIV. The only time that you would start having symptoms, that is when your viral load goes below 200, and now you're becoming an AIDS patient, then you may have what we call like stomatitis, which is like ulcers in the mouth. You may have like rashes on your skin. And let's say, for example, you happen to go to Africa, you get an infection. That infection would never get healed because your immune system is what the virus attacks. So your immune system cannot protect you or take care of you. Even if we were to give you medications, it would be very difficult for you to heal. At that point, that's when people start exhibiting some symptoms. And then when you go to the doctor, then they will be like, well, you do have HIV. And based on what we find out, then now it's AIDS.
Well, guys, you hear it. Get tested. Up Samba, are you listening? Get tested. Sumomboki fana fana munen ma test.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, now we are not going to go to the barber shops. Now we are not going to go to the nail shops. I say, but you were going there 6 months ago. So what changed? Because there is HIV all over Senegal. No. There's HIV all over Gambia. No. Yes, it is rampant, more than before. But that doesn't mean that it's even on the chairs and the beds and the sheets and the utensils and the mosquitoes and all of that. So but the mode of transmission is what people have been really discussing and arguing about. People keep thinking that just because you went to a barbershop, then you may end up having HIV. Well, it can happen, but it's very unlikely because of the number of hours the virus can survive on those objects that you use. So
again, sorry about my internet. It's I need to do something about this. Every now and then I'm in and out. But anyway, that's it. Tune in to Dr. Jaye on your TikTok. Are you coming today? After the
yes, I would. They always like people would be always looking for me, and they will send messages. Are you coming? Are you coming? We have questions. So if I go on vacation, I have to let them know that I'm going on vacation, so they're not looking for me.
Absolutely.
It's like a Sunday commitment. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get to our politics, but before that, we have this partner that always helps us bring in this program every Sunday.
No deposit, flexible payment plans, and lots of discounts. Get your leave of admin today.
So, Dr. Jaye, that is Global Properties. If you want to have beautiful apartments right there in the Senegambia area, you know who to call. Call Milan. She will definitely take care of you.
Okay.
So, Dr. Jaye, well, like I thought that at least for us to talk about the health, which you're well known for. So this arena called politics, well, at least I didn't know you more of a political person, but apparently you are. But who is Dr. Jaye? Most of the guys that tune into this program every Sunday, they don't really know you. Who is Dr. Jaye?
Well, I'm just a simple individual that happens to be in the US, born and raised in the Gambia. Came in here back in the, I think, early 90s, like 94. I'm not trying to tell my age on myself. Came in here for education, and I went to school here. I went to a junior college first, did a science degree, and then moved on to my bachelor's, get a nursing degree, and then continued my education to a master's degree level as an NP, which is a nurse practitioner. And once I finished, I kept getting more bugging from the colleagues and the doctors that I worked with. So I ended up going to Chatham University and getting my doctorate. And I'm currently practicing medicine, and I own my clinics. I've practiced in multiple different hospitals. I did trauma, orthopedics, to emergency medicine, to I pretty much did every single aspect of the healthcare system, from emergency medicine to oncology to orthopedics to where I am now as a family practice provider, and also I get a certification in functional medicine as well. So I am thankful that I'm able to serve people the way I want. And when you say, is Dr. Jaye a politician? I think every individual is a politician because politics is a way of life. For me to be able to practice medicine and take care of people the way I want to, there is a political aspect of it. So that's where the politics come into play. So for the love of people, whatever it takes for me to make sure people are at a better place and are able to live life to their maximum potential, I would always be part of that. And that's what brings me to the political aspect of what I do.
Thank you very much. You are associated with APEX. I mean, most people, they've heard about APEX. I mean, I listened to Coffee Time and Jaye was on Coffee Time talking about APEX. What is APEX all about? And who are the people behind it? And what is the, should I say, the rationale behind the formation of APEX?
So APEX is nothing but a group of volunteering Gambians that came together to bring about all the opposition, whether it's a political party or movement, whatever it is, under one umbrella to go for the 2026 elections. And not just for the elections to win the elections, but to bring about change in the whole system. Like you all know, there's a lot going on in that country. No matter how small, we have a magnitude of problems. And we believe that in order to tackle that problem, it will take a lot of people that would be involved, like-minded people. And that's what brought about APEX. And that's the whole concept behind it. And APEX, most people would be like, why APEX? Why APEX? Well, why not APEX? Why not a group of people that think there should be a coalition? Why not a group of people that believe that Gambia needs Gambians need better Gambia than just what we have now? And that's why APEX is here, nothing else.
So in 2016, we had this coalition effort that was launched. Most people believe that it was needed because the Jammeh government was seen as an existential threat. Some would argue where Gambia is now, there's a semblance of democracy, there's a rule of law, and when everything is said and done, it's a multi-pluralistic society. What is wrong with parties going at it and selling their agenda to the Gambian people? And who wins, win. And then why would you guys like to inject yourself to say that, well, let's form a coalition? What is the threat? Why do we have to do that?
Well, if you look at Gambia at a superficial angle, then you would say everything is perfect. It's happy and jolly and go lucky. But if you look at the Gambia at an angle that with a microscope, you would see something far deeper than just saying, oh, there is no threat of human rights. Yes, absolutely. It depends on how you identify what human rights are. Just because you are able to get up and go to the market and come home and a police officer stops you, or a military person stops you with a gun, or someone snatches you at night, that doesn't mean that's where democracy stops. That doesn't mean that's where what we want. If you can go to school and have a good education and have the opportunity that my kids have in this country, that's what I would say you have in your human rights. If you can get up and build a house and have the capacity to build a house and not think that you have to be in government to build a house, you have to be corrupt to build a house. That's a human rights. It's a human right for people to be able to get education, to be able to practice medicine or to seek healthcare. There is a lot more to human rights than just being abducted or murdered. There's more to democracy than just being able to openly speak against the government. Democracy involves education, it involves the system, whether it's corrupt or not, the legal system. That's all part of a democratic state. And it's not just being in terms and legal documentation, but it's more in an action. People should be able to live it and feel it, not be saying it verbally, but it should be an actionable thing that people should experience. And that is why we don't think just going based on the history that we know in Africa, in many other countries, incumbents are usually not able to be eliminated by political parties, individual political parties. If you look at Senegal, for example, took a coalition for them to remove the incumbent. So we cannot be naive enough to say that each political party has the power to go ahead or have the support to remove that incumbent. And that being said, it's not just removing an incumbent, because we removed the incumbent previously, but we haven't seen any changes within the system. And that's one of the reasons why we say, identifying the fact that we need more than just one political party, then we need a coalition. And if we have a coalition, it's not just to remove an incumbent, but it's to bring about the system change that you and everyone else is yearning for. Now, it is not going to be easy. We all know that. Nothing is going to be easy. There is nothing on earth that is easy as long as it's good.
Yeah, Pasamba Krasna Sunpatibi. So I know that he's at work. So I'm going to allow him to.
That's why I brought up Pasamba. Hi, Mr. Pasamba.
Thank you so very much. I just have one quick question before I go, and I'll join you guys back. We're talking about coalition. There's a lot of talk, and I've seen it from politicians talking about no to alliance movement as a possible partner in a coalition. There is a party that is owned, operated, directed, dictated by Yaya Jammeh, the person responsible for the many killings in our country. Will APEX be engaging no to alliance? Or if yes, why? If no, why? And if yes, does that mean that we are now accepting that Yaya Jammeh is a willing partner that people are ready to work for to bring about system change when he was responsible for the destruction of the system in that country? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pasamba. To your question, no, we have not engaged no to alliance. And the only people that we have engaged are people that are political opposition parties that are not with NPP, number one. Number two, people that are not going to be contradicting the system change that we're yearning for. So you cannot have a system that you want to change, but you align yourself with people that are the corporate of that change that you want.
Pasamba?
That answered your question.
Okay, so going back to Pasamba's question. So you said that you guys have, can you tell us which parties have you engaged so far? Or do you have a criteria who to engage and who not to? In other words, because you're basically saying no to alliance is concerned, nope, they're out.
So we have a criteria that we set up with, I would, since I'm not good with all the names of the political parties. So initially, the people that we engaged were the opposition political parties who were registered and part of the previous election.
Correct.
Those were the initial. That was, we had 3 different stages. Those are the ones that we invited first, which was like APP Sobea, because they became a coalition, and GDC, GFA, NUP, PAP, PDOIS, and UDP. Those were the people that we initially engaged. And later on phase 2, we invited PPA, Tabayomi, and UMC. So that's who we have been working with. And so far, every single one of those belong to a meeting except for GDC and PDOIS.
Did you receive any response from PDOIS or GDC at all?
Yes, so GDC did come in for initial consultation and later on said that they were going to get back to us and that their leader had traveled at the time, but we are yet still to receive any information from them. We sent a letter around December, I believe, just to ask again, but we're yet to receive a response. As far as a PDOI goes, we had initially invited them just like the rest of the other parties that I've named, and they responded that they were going to, I think they were holding their, what do you call it, their Congress, and after Congress, they'll reach back to us. But we're yet still to receive any information from them yet.
So Dr. Jaye, there are, why am I echoing? What would be the role of APEX? Are you guys being a facilitator? In other words, inviting parties and bring them under one roof and allow them to do their thing? Or are you basically taking a leading role to say that we think you guys need to come together? I mean, how involved is APEX going to be as far as these coalition talks are concerned? Facilitating, leading role? What's going to be your role?
How involved are we?
Exactly.
Because it's an ongoing progress. What we did was invited them and gave them a presentation as to what we want to happen and negotiated with them, talked to them about the whole dynamic of how the process should be done. So we are more of a platform that is allowing the facilitation to be done within that platform. And if you want to say like a referee as well. Right. So they would be doing the negotiations. We are not imposing on them on how to do, what to do, when to do what, but we allowing the conversations within the platform, and we hosting the conversations, inviting them on meetings, making sure all the secretariats things are done by APEX to make sure in a respectful, professional manner, in a democratic fashion as well.
Dr. Jaye, the whole effort of bringing parties together, I mean, some of us been very involved in it for quite a while. And like you initially alluded to, it's a very difficult and complex effort, no doubt about that, going all the way back to 2006. We all know how that ended. And then 2016, luckily, we were able to pull it off. And we all know how that ended, that somehow, in as much as we thought bringing them together, getting rid of Jammeh, creating this semblance of democracy, that would be the end. That would be the end to the idea of trying to bring parties together. What is about 2016 that you guys think you must have maybe learned from it? I mean, in terms of saying that, okay, maybe now we need to do it right. What is about that we didn't do right in 2016 that you believe that if we are able to inculcate it in 2026 effort, that would definitely maybe make it much more successful?
Yes. So in any project that you're going to do, embark on, whether you've done the project before or there has been similar projects in the past, the job of the person that's initiating the project is to do a fair assessment of the past and see what are the things that didn't get done. How can we solve those issues? What can we do at our capacity to make sure that those same mistakes are not being repeated? And I wouldn't even call those projects. Every project is a learning lesson. And in life, the more experience you have, the more you learn. And from 2005 or 2006, we assessed those situations and brought up points that we know for a fact like Passamber and yourself, you guys are more aware of what happened, how it happened. So we looked at all those issues. 2016, everybody knows that there were documents that people kept saying no one signed, people did not sign. So in this time, everything that we are going to be doing would be documented, and we would make sure whatever legally at a legal capacity can be done, we'll make sure those things are done. We would make sure all our I's are dots and our T's are crossed. It is not going to be easy. But just because it's not easy and it hasn't been done, that doesn't mean that you cannot take a stab on it, because Rome wasn't built in a day. Even airplanes, people that make airplanes now, before they flew and fell down and crashed, but they didn't stop. So as humans, we would continue to push until we get what we want.
So
hope that this will be the final push.
So you guys have been at it for how long now?
We started back in April of 2023. So it's been a long time. We literally worked for a while before we even invited the political parties, because we wanted to make sure that the foundation, the research, everything that we needed to do and document was done before we even asked for any political parties to come on board.
So it looks like you guys have been at it for the past 8-9 months. It looks like.
I would say for the past 2 years or 3 years, because 2023 till now, it's almost 3 years in April this year.
That you guys have been working on this?
Yes.
And have you been engaging the parties or just doing behind the scenes kind of?
I would say we started with behind the scenes, just doing the research and the analysis that needed to be done before we could bring the political parties to talk to them.
So in terms of what kind of response have you been getting from these political parties? Are they coming in and telling you, look, because we're hearing some of the parties. There is this talk about winnable candidate, electable candidate, saleable candidate. You know, I mean, we are the one with the numbers. And you hear it all over social media. I mean, internally, what have you guys been hearing from these political parties?
So, you know, like politics, I am a politician, but I am a politician, but not a politician. I am a politician in the sense that it's a way of life,
right,
but not necessarily someone that is involved in politics, like some of the political parties or party leaders are, or even you or Mr. Samba Joe. I'm not at that level. So when it comes to negotiations within the APEX, it has been very respectful, very professional. They all come for meetings and they are very involved in the talks, and anything that needs to be documented or written, the negotiations are ongoing. Now, as far as what goes outside of our platform, I look at it as a political objective for those people. It's just like when you are in the clinic or in the hospital, there would be a lot of boohoo baha going outside, but you have to be able to narrow down and focus on your objective and eliminate all the extra noise, so that way it doesn't distract you to be fair and just, because you cannot want to be fair and just and then allow all the excess noise to interfere with what you're doing. So as a platform and as a chairperson for APEX, all the APEX members, we are exactly very focused on what the objective is and not the extra noise that comes along with it.
I mean, if there is one thing most of these parties would say, I am open to a coalition. So reasonably, a bunch of Gambians come together like APEX and said, okay, we want to reach out to these parties and invite them for coalition talks. They would respond. My question is, it is very easy for a party to send someone, you know what, I don't know, unique, we want to make sure we fulfill the basic requirements. And then there is the go-to guy, the leader, who speaks for the party. So who is actually attending these meetings? Is it just, you know, someone to attend, or are the leaders themselves actually participating in this process?
Absolutely. So we have two sections within APEX. We have the council, where myself and a few other members of APEX sit in with the party leaders. And so each of these sections, we have the council, we have the negotiators. Each party or organization or movement should send at least up to three to each of these groups.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we do have meetings that are simultaneously happening. So in the council, we have the party leaders with the other part of their executive. And then in the negotiators, we also have the executives from these groups or stakeholders that are part of that meeting. And yes, the leaders themselves are part of it. And we have it in a way that whatever being done or put out in public, the leaders accept it, agree upon it, discuss it, sign it before anything goes out. So anything that you have seen that come out from APEX is actually being approved and agreed upon by the leaders themselves and the political parties. When I say the leaders, it includes everyone in their executive, because that's very crucial. I think as adults, it would be very unlikely for people that are responsible to sit at a conversation that is supposed to be taking the Gambia to a different level and just be nonchalant and just allow people to come and go and do as they please. No, that would not be something that I would like to be involved in.
Absolutely, absolutely. To most people, anecdotally, and also even looking at these the polling data that came out, Gambians are basically saying the shortest way of defeating the incumbent would be a comprehensive coalition. I mean, there's a lot of talk about different kind of coalition. And I have to believe the effort that you guys are launching would be a comprehensive one, meaning everybody to be on board. I mean, is that correct, that you guys are basically looking for the comprehensive and not just settling for a coalition of some sort if you cannot accomplish the comprehensive? If not all the parties are in it, but you're able to find 3, 4, 5 parties, then you're just going to go along with the 3, 4, 5 parties. The
goal is to have all the opposition parties, again, that would not deal with the concept of APEX, meaning to bring about change. That is the goal. Now, like I said, you would have a goal, and your goal is to change the Gambia. And those people that you know would be willing to come along, it's a coalition of the willing. So we are hopeful that every single party that I've named here today would be part of it. And if they're not, again, it is the Gambians that has to hold these people responsible. These parties are not independent organizations. They are not just organizations that are going in for themselves. If they're honestly saying they are political parties for the people, then they have to stand for and do as the people would want them to do. And that's what we hope for, that the political parties, and they have not showed us anything other than being cooperative and they themselves wanting to do a coalition, and we are hopeful that that would happen.
So, Dr. Jaye, most people would say that we're not interested in replacing Barrow. And something tells me that you are not only interested in replacing Barrow. We're all interested in replacing a system. And I want to believe that APEX is interested in replacing a system. So I would want to believe that within APEX, you guys have an idea of what you would call the change agenda, the change Gambia that you would want to see. If you are able to kind of summarize it, what would that be? Because again, tell me whether it's just a question of replacing, Barrow, or to replace the system. And when we say replacing the system, what is about the system that we want to replace to, and with what?
So it's not just the changing the government, like you said. It is everything that everybody is asking for, which is, when you say the system, you're looking at the the legislature, you're looking at the healthcare, you're looking at the education, you're looking at the judicial. All of these are systems that are within the government that needs, some of them have real good protocols, but they're not being applicable. And when we say a change, it's not just changing documents, but being responsible for what you bring about, those changes that you bring about. If it's the education sector, we want to make sure that there would be accountability and there would be ways of actually measuring outcomes. Not just saying we bring these protocols, we bring these agendas, we want this change. There should be ways of measuring these outcomes to say that, okay, by 2030, we have been able to assess these changes that we've made. These are the outcomes. These are the positive outcomes. These are the negative outcomes. The negative outcomes, why are they negative? What can we do for the incumbent for that next election? What can they do? Because we have to move away from just governing. We have to move away from just being a mediocre country. Like, we all live in the West. You and I live in the West, and we see how it is things handled. The West is not perfect, but at least they have certain things that are in place that no matter how crazy a person is that is leading that place, there are certain things that would hold those people accountable. And we would hope that the Gambia would be the same. Even if you were to bring Musa Jang to rule the Gambia, there would be protocols in place that it would be enforceable, where Mr. Jang would not do as he pleased. And the educational sector has to be reformed. The healthcare sector has to be reformed. Do we have the answers to everything? No. And that is exactly why we need to have a coalition to bring about these changes, because when the coalition comes and you have your little knowledge, I have my little knowledge, everyone else has their little knowledge, and you bring those knowledge together, then at that point, I think we would achieve what we are all yearning for. But if we just want to be nonchalant about it and say that we just want to bring about change, let's bring a new president. My friend, we've done it. We've brought a new president. And did we see any changes in the system? Did we see any changes in the healthcare system? Did we see the changes in how much commodities cost? Did we see any changes within the GDP? No, we haven't. So we need something different. APEX doesn't have all the answers, but please help us out. If you have any way possible, if there are people out there, because Gambia is not for APEX, Gambia is not for the political parties, Gambia is for Gambians, and Gambians have to do what is best for Gambians.
Knowing this police on terrain, I mean, the efforts that you guys are trying to launch. So I understand.
bu ñu ñee sax te ñun ñeeyiñ suñ bopp waaye natt la te natt bu la ko yàlla tegee rek danga koy nangu.
Lu metti la, lu complex la, lu difficult la.
100%.
And one of the 3 fundamental issues for decoalition, if you ask me, you alluded to it, meaning we want the system change. In other words, we all want to come together to fight for these things, these issues that we all agreed upon. We want a new constitution. We want to get rid of the Public Order Act. We want to change the economic system. We want to change the budgetary system. Whatever it is, te bobu mo gena yomba to bring in these parties together, if you ask me, bobu mo gena yomba. Because most of these parties, they don't necessarily have ideological fundamental differences. They all say the same thing. You know, affordability, they want to say new democracy, they want to do this, they want to do that. They all sound the same. Fi affaire bi nekk mooy lan moo ko umba. In other words, what vehicle are you going to use to form this coalition? Number 1. That is going to be a very challenging issue. Then number 2, who is going to be driving this vehicle? Whether it was 2006, whether it was 2011, whether even 2016, those were the 2 fundamental issues. You solve them, you would have a comprehensive coalition. Meaning, Lanmoko Umba, what vehicle are we going to use? And then who is going to be driving this bus? How do you guys intend to tackle those two fundamental issues, including the first one that I talked about, meaning the easy one, in as much as more the most important one, but the easiest to deal with? How do you guys intend to handle
the easiest to deal with, like you said, that's the easiest to deal with. So everyone has to bring in their ideas and put it on the table, debate about it, and negotiate which one do you think is best for the Gambia, and then agree upon it. Now, the vehicle or the driver should be nothing more than the love for country and honesty. There's nothing in negotiation more than just that. Honesty has to be the number one driver. And the love for what you're doing should override your personal principle or your political principle. If you truly and honestly, and I would let the Gambians be the ones to be the judge, right? If I am going to go to have an operation to be done, I think as a patient, I would love to know that the team that is going to operate on me, no matter how much their differences, would be able to sit down and analyze my complex issue and come up with a solution. And that's what I expect from all the political parties. They may have their differences, they may have their different principle, but at the end of the day, they should be the common goal should be bigger than their individual differences, and they should rely on their similarities to form that coalition, nothing more and nothing less. Because if you focus on your differences, you will not go anywhere. Because you and I, we have our differences, but we don't even allude to our differences. What we know today is that we have this objective is to come to talk to your people on your platform and educate them about HIV, make them aware about APEX. That's our common goal, and that's what we're focusing on. So what is going to drive this coalition would be their common goal, their common interests, and set aside their differences. And if that common goal is more important, and I think negotiations are always difficult, but the way to make negotiations more practical and much more easier is bringing on your common goal and then looking at the objective and focusing on that. Nothing else and nothing more.
There are words that are very tricky, especially in this effort. Things like, you said, common goal, love of country, and honesty. And then, what does that mean? To most of these parties, what does that mean? Let's get to the Chibir New Yahabi. You have the United Democratic Party. They've been around going all the way back to 1994. You talk to them, they are being honest as far as they're concerned. They love country as far as they're concerned.
100%.
And they would say that to form a comprehensive coalition, what makes sense is the party that has always been performing better than any other party, that people lined up in every election, they will vote for us more than anybody else. They would argue, should be in charge of the bus, and they should drive the bus. They don't mind. We can talk about what are the changes that we need to implement. Would you characterize that as being honesty, love of country, or having common goal? Or do you think that is more of a party interest? Again, I don't want to put you...
No, you are not.
I don't want to put you in a difficult, as if it's going to... But because I have a question for the other folks as well. But I'm just...
No, you're not. No, you're not putting me in any difficult situation. You know, my philosophy in life is this. If you don't know what you want and you don't stand for what you want, then I don't want to be associated with you. People should have a right to know exactly what they want, how they want it, what they want to do about it. But that doesn't mean that when you come to a negotiation, you are not negotiating. Knowing what you want, stating what you want, has nothing to do with when you go to negotiate. Like I said, if Musa Jeng doesn't know who he is, what he wants in life, how he wants to achieve what he wants, how he wants to get to where he is going, and he doesn't even know where he is going, guess what? I don't want to be associated with that person. And I think Gambians should understand that every political party has a right to want what they want, how they want it done. That's their individual political rights. But that doesn't negate the fact that when we come to a table to negotiate,
correct,
then it is time for negotiation. Then you have to put in perspective. What can you let go? What is a priority? What is not a priority? And you negotiate it at that point. Whether it's UDP, whether it's PDOIS, whether it's APP, SOBEA, whether it's PAP, whether it's GDC, every single person should know exactly how they want what they want. Ku nekk war ngaa xam na ngay tojee sa boppi janax. Léegi nag bu ñëwee nag pour séddaale janax ji yow yaa war a xam ndax da ngay jël génn gi ndax bopp bi wax tojiti bopp bi. Yes, because people should never deviate from their objective. That is just a principle of the number one principle of self-esteem, self-love starts from knowing who you are as a person. And the number one principle of any organization is having a principle and knowing what you want and how you believe in yourself. And then when it comes to getting married at that point, then you're going to negotiate who goes to the bathroom or who cleans what or who does the pickups the kids. That's in every partnership and in every relationship. But if you marry a woman that doesn't know what they want, you're going to doom for failure because you're not going to have any common goal because you will not even know what your goals are.
So, Dr. Jaye, and then of course you have the other parties coming into the negotiating table. Again, I've already basically, stated what I call the UDP position. I mean, they've made it very clear publicly. And I have no doubt in my mind that they must have made it privately at the negotiating table. And then you have the smaller parties basically saying, look, I mean, we're not going to abandon our parties to come and just immerse ourselves under another political party, support them to win an election. I mean, that's basically killing our parties. And we want to have a process. And the bigger party is saying, we are not interested in a process. Is that what you guys are saying at the negotiating table? Or have you made a little bit out of that?
You're going to sound like my family members. Now that they know I'm involved in this, everybody calls and say, what are you guys doing? What do you guys know? No. One thing that I do not do, and people like Juka would tell you, she would tell you, oh, she's too hard. She would not tell you nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, I would not tell you what goes on in the negotiations and what is going on the negotiation. And that should not be done at a professional level. We do all respect that when negotiations are in process, the people that are involved in negotiations are continuing to negotiate respectfully. And it's a negotiation. It's not like, oh, we are coming here and we are imposing. Everyone that is involved in this negotiation respected the fact that it's going to be a negotiation. They're all going to sit down, which they have been doing at the table, and address issue per issue and debate on it and agree upon it and move on to the next. That's the exact process that's been done. And it's been done diligently and it's been really great. And I'm loving it. So, and I would ask you guys and your followers to continue to pray that it continues that way because we haven't had any issues. And we would continue to iron out if any issue come out, because anytime you're going into something, whatever it is, whether it's a negotiation, whether it's work, you always have to foresee, because that's one of the things that I was taught in some of these coach lessons that I have to attend or do. You always, even if you want to have a successful day at work, you have to always foresee that there would be positives, there would be negatives, but when those negatives arise, how are you going to tackle them? And then you hope that the ones that you foresee has already are the ones that will arrive. And when they do, you would find a way to tackle them, and then you would not be frazzled and taken by surprise and just throw your some sort of bucket be and say, ah, man pare na si leader for me to no. We've already prepared ourselves mentally and emotionally that this is going to be very involving. It will require a lot of our time, that we meet almost every single week.
Wow.
Yes. Since this started, as far as APEX is concerned, we meet every single, and most people would say, how do you have time for that? And why do you have to do that? Gambia is bigger than us. Gambians, because I don't know how many people contact me for health reasons, for health purposes.
Correct.
And they would not have to contact me if they have the luxury that I have here in the US.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So for that reason, it will take everything, every breath that we have, every capacity that we have, that we would ask and we would do and we would pray. We would do everything possible. And we're asking you guys to pray for us, because you know it's not going to be easy. And pray for me especially.
Okay, pray, mom, pray. Without getting, and you're right, and I didn't expect you to get into the me saying what, but the general question though, Moy, you saying that you've been at it for 3 years, behind the scenes and meeting every Sunday or every week. Nak am nga yakar, knowing the difficulty and the complexity. Na am nga chi yakar. Is the needle moving? I mean, obviously they're coming and stating their positions. And I'm sure, you're a very smart lady. I mean, so do you see a path that we can end up with a comprehensive coalition, difficult as it may be?
Yes, I'm not yakar. Dom Adama lumuy dunde rek moy yakar. You just hope and do your best. And what I've seen is promising, that so far everything is going and the needle is moving. And obviously, if you've been doing something for 8 months, even 3 months, just 1 quarter, you should expect to see some progress, and you should be able to assess where you are, what has happened, what can you do differently, what can you change. And yes, the needle is moving, and yes, we are hopeful, and that is why we're still in it, because if it wasn't going to be, then it would have been a different story. So we didn't want to even come out to the general public until we see that the needle was moving, because we don't want to put hopes on the people only to come out and say, oh, well, nothing worked. Yeah.
What I also realize is people don't even know who the APEX individuals are. I mean, Dr. Jaye, and the name came out and people were like, Dr. Jaye, who's Kokalununu?
And that just tells you how much we are secretive and how much we did not want, because when you're doing something at this of this magnitude, you have to be very cautious, because we are only humans, and people can be very influential, and people would come and tell you, oh, these people are this, these people are that. You don't want to go into anything like this to be a little bit biased. It's better to be naive like myself.
Right.
If you're naive and not know much about these people, it helps you to not be biased. It helps you to not even that's why I try not to even know what's going on, because I am very naive. People may think I'm smart, but no, I'm very naive when it comes to a lot of things. I am very, very goal focused and focus on things that I really care about. Everything else, I will tell you, I don't know. I don't know how many times people will come and ask me about something. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea, because I really don't have any idea. And I think that is a blessing in disguise. Yes, sometimes being naive can be seen by other people as being irresponsible, but then in this instance, it is good, because again, if we come out as Apex and everybody comes out, the whole team of Apex, what most people are going to focus on, oh, who is this person? What are they this? Because we know our people.
Right.
We are our people. We are part of our people. People are very curious. So for us, Apex members are not really that important. The most important people are the political stakeholders, not us. And we don't want the focus to be on us. Like when we come out and say these are the members of Apex, most people are going to be like, oh, trying to figure out Apex instead of trying to figure out what is the objective, or trying to figure out what are the parties involved, or trying to figure out how can we push our parties to be part of this objective. That's what we want people to focus on. We want people to focus on the common objective. We want people to focus on their individual parties. And if those people really believe in coalition, then they need to push their parties towards a coalition and tell the parties to negotiate for a coalition. But at some point, we don't have anything to hide as Apex members. We would have people, the whole Apex will be put out in public when that right time comes. And we communicate everything that we do from Apex perspective with the stakeholders. Because right now, we are not just Apex. We are also owned by the political parties, all the political parties. So whenever we have to put out a press release, we don't just say, oh, we are just going to put out a press release because we are Apex and we are going to do what we want. No, we let them look at it. We even told them why we are doing what we're doing. Each of us within Apex signed an NDA, and each of the political parties also signed an NDA with us to make sure whatever we discuss stays within the platform. And whenever we are coming out and coming out here, we have to let them know that we are coming out. So that there are a lot of people that are requesting for us to come out on social media and talk to them. But we always say, write us a letter, let us know, and then transmit that information to the stakeholders. Because when you're working with people, you have to also give them respect. And because of that respect, that's why we want people to focus on the political parties and not Apex per se, because we're not seeking office. We're not running for election.
So there are other parallel efforts being launched by other entities. And I'm not sure how much you guys are aware of that. Have you even attempted to contact them? There is Coalition for System Change. They're out there. There's also a talk that Halifa is launching what they call Coalition Team Gambia, something like that. Are you guys aware of that? And do you think maybe that has something to do with, because so far you're telling me DOI hasn't really responded or come to the negotiating table, have they?
Not yet, because they, like I said in the beginning, we had contacted them, we sent them a letter, and the response was that after their Congress, they will come back to us, and they haven't. And as far as your first question goes, there is PAC and there is CSC. Once we were aware of those organizations, we reach out, we wrote them letters, we are continuing to discuss. And whenever those things come to materialize, we'll definitely have a joint statement, but we'll let you guys know. As far as the Team Gambia goes, we're still looking for a contact email. That way we can reach out to Team Gambia, because again, this is not about whether it's Apex. It doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is having a coalition, and if we can do the work, because it's a lot of work. It's not an easy task. And I have a full-time job. I would say I have 3 jobs, Plus, yes, that's 4 jobs. People would say, when do you sleep? I don't have a life. My life is the love for people. That's my life. So the more the merrier. The more people that we can have to come and work with us, we would definitely love to work with Team Gambia, because Halifa is a noble human. He's been in the system. He's very respectable. I respect him and we adore him. And if you can help us, or Mr. Pasamba Jau, or anyone that is on the platform, to reach out to you and send you a contact, we'll definitely love to reach out and make sure that communication gets started as soon as possible, because we don't have time.
No time we don't have.
No.
Because there are people that would say, we don't have a coalition that Halifa, meaning Doi, and UDP, they are not part of. You might as well, that can never be a so-called comprehensive coalition per se. I mean, how would you react to a statement like that?
You know, I don't go into anything foreseeing those people to not be part of. Right now we have UDP in there, and we would love to have GDC and DOI and everyone else that is within the context, or everyone else within our criteria, to be part of this coalition talks. That's what we're hopeful for, and we wish that those people will come on, and I believe that they will at some point. Yes.
Without getting into the names, because most people do say that if Musajeng or Pasambajao were to launch a coalition effort, most likely the parties will not be very receptive, because, I mean, we are out there with our public utterances and things like that. So the perception is, hey, needing fair, then far. So you guys so far, I mean, I know DA Jawo, nobody is going to question na Koko Farna or Farut. Koko Farut Fen. Obviously, people don't know your political leanings. I mean, how about the rest of the team? What is the composition? How many people are in APEX? And how many female, male are in APEX? I mean, are you going to tell us the people, their names that are part of this effort?
Again, when the time comes that we believe that it's not going to overshadow the project and the objective, we'll definitely put out the names, and faces will be seen and people would know. But when APEX was formed, one of the criteria was that there will be non-partisan, like we would not be affiliated with any political party out there. Absolutely not. And like you said, myself and Uncle DA, we are 100%, and I for one, everybody knows. Yeah. My only political party is healthcare. So that being said, and again, that's what we have to do as individuals that are wanting to bring about a coalition and political parties. Nga buga indi ay wuj. Yo nga man ki ma njëkkeem, ki ma premier njëkkeem. So if you try to bring all these wives together, you better make sure that
absolutely. But you know what? There's one reality, though. I think anyone who's been in this business for a while would definitely love to see you guys succeed.
I know.
Maybe, like you said, it's going to take a little bit of sacrifice and honesty. And in terms of timeline, though, because we don't really have time, in as much as 8-9 months is a long time in politics, but at some point, you guys have at what point would you say, you know what, this thing ain't working, we're going to allow these people to go and do their thing? Is it going to be based on a timeline, or is it going to be based on how the issues are evolving? Like, you know what, let them go and do their thing? Or do you have a timeline saying that July, so that I help?
No. When you working with people and you respect them and you respect their opinions, especially with negotiations, you cannot put like hard lines and say, this is what you have to do otherwise. we do have some soft timelines that we're working with, do diligently to make sure that we can accomplish our goal. And that is why we meet very frequently, just to make sure those objectives are met, but not necessarily say, okay, by June, if this is not done, then no. If you look at the 2016
coalition.
so if we're looking at history and learning from it, then those are the same things that we are saying. If that was possible, nothing is impossible. And yes, we are mindful that things can happen, but at the same time, I have a belief that all you can do in life is have a good intention and work hard and give it your best and give it your all. And the rest, God would handle.
Do you believe in your heart of hearts that Barrow can be defeated without even having a coalition?
It is possible, because nothing is impossible. There is nothing impossible on earth. But then when you're talking about possibilities, you also have to assess and see what reality tells you. What reality tells us, and what every Gambian believes, and whether we like it or not, it will be much easier and much more likely to defeat Mr. President Barrow if there is a correlation, or when there is a correlation. And that's why we're working hard to make sure there would be a correlation. And we're not just trying to defeat Barrow, like we're trying to bring about change. And I think, and we believe that to bring about that change, a coalition would be better at it.
Well, you've given me most of your time. It's almost 2:30. I have to say this.
Why people are going to be looking.
I come here every Sunday and I have co-panelists. I like this one better. She's smarter, absolutely beautiful. The other two, I don't know about that.
I know, you know what's so sad? Like, like even when I go to Gambia, people confuse me for Juka. When I'm on TikTok, people say, I say, I don't know that girl. I am not related. And I can see the comments, and there's someone say, oh, she's part of someone say I'm part of UMC. Unfortunately, I don't even
No, you are definitely not part of UMC.
People may say I'm part of you guys can say I'm part of all the people, all the political parties. The only political party that I'm part of, again, is health.
I believe that.
Have any issues with your health, I will die, and I would have sleepless nights to make sure that you guys are healthy and taken care of. And whether it's men's health, women's health, general people, whatever, public health, I'm all for it. So, but any political parties, I'm sorry, I am not part of any of y'all. I am a politician because it's a way of life.
Absolutely. But, for people like us with the comments, we get used to them. I mean, you cannot come here every Sunday. And I'm sure you know that by now.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's fun to see people. It's great. People should be able to express themselves. People should be able to say as they please, as long as they're doing it with respect. There's nothing wrong with that. I love for people to express themselves. I love for people to have debates because that's how you evolve. That's how you learn. That's how you become a better society. And we should encourage those political debates that people can have. And I don't know if Gambia still do those debates. Debates are very welcoming, and they would teach you emotionally to be intelligent emotionally and have respect for others. And that should be welcome. It should be done with respect. And I hope people would evolve and do that even much healthier. Like we do debates in healthcare. We debate even in surgery, even in operating rooms, even in the emergency room. Like, you will have a case and we would present the case and we would question, why did you do it this way? And you have to present yourself. This is why I answered this way. This is why I do it. And then you may be, even if there's a mistake, like a case that had a mistake, then we would bring it up. We'll sit down and we would analyze it. We'll find out, why did this happen? Why did this mistake occur? What could we have done differently? And it's not to even bash people or discipline people. It's a learning process. Life is all about learning, and you do not learn unless you go outside of your comfort zone and talk to people of different mindset, different concept. And I would wish that the political dynamics, like, they would have those debates amongst themselves and they can learn from each other. And even if it's not the stakeholders, like the leadership themselves, but even just the supporters should be willing to have those debates and put their points, why you should become a DOI, why versus a UDP, why you should become a APP Sobeya versus this. And that is very healthy, and as long as it's done in a respectful way. So I encourage people to want what they want and say as they please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so final question.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter to you or to APEX whether you have a party-led coalition, whether you go through a process? Does it really matter, as long as there is a coalition and that the parties come together under one umbrella?
It doesn't matter to APEX what the parties want. It is the parties. They are the stakeholders. Whatever they want and however they want it, we would just make sure it is done fairly. That's all our job is. If they sit up today and decide we don't want our leaders to lead, we want Mr. Jeng, Mr. Jaye to be the president, that's it.
Ken du jël Jaw Passamba Jaw diko def president. Lolu mom
bul wax lolu suma broda de. Passamba mom suma broda. Ken mo ko laal. Passamba mom suma bossi bop la.
It's an important thing that I can gloss over. The financial arm, you can bring the parties all you want. Would you guys then work on raising the funds, or is this just the effort is basically restricted to bringing parties together and not into the other?
If you have a project and you want it to succeed,
right,
you're not just going to form the project and leave it there. You have to go from A to Z until the project is done. Mm-hmm. Right now, as of what's going on, since from the beginning till now, it's only APEX members that have supported APEX.
Yes.
We contribute on a monthly basis, all the APEX members, so we are not getting funds from any political party, any supporter, any stakeholder, nobody whatsoever.
Right.
But when the time comes, when the coalition is formed, we definitely would have a system in place,
right,
making sure those funds are there, because the incumbent thinks he has our pocketbooks and he's going to be using our own funds. And so we have to make sure we have our own funds for the coalition. And however that will be done, we may even come on here and talk to you guys. So definitely all the Gambians would be involved, because it's not for APEX, it's not for any political parties. And I would hope that I would love to see where the Gambia moves away from political parties supporting themselves. I would love to see the general public making sure they are the ones supporting these type of agendas, to make sure the funding is coming from the people, to make sure the funding is not just coming from one entity or one organization or one individual, where they would be directing these people how to see, what to do. And that's our wish. And I would hope and pray that it comes to manifest. Yeah.
Absolutely. So final word, Dr. Jaye. It's been a great afternoon. I can tell you that. I really enjoy the conversation. And I want to thank the APEX, everyone that worked to make this happen. Initially, when I reached out, I actually went to Joka. I'm going to go through. I'm the wrong person.
I know. She would say, man laajuma la loolu man waxuma yow si politique ma ne ko ndokk yàlla ba nga si duggutee rek baax na.
Some people definitely participated and make it happen, and
in life you have to have like relationships with people, and I have families that I truly love, and Juka is one of my pet little sisters. I love her and I love all my family, but we have boundaries in our family, and whatever people are doing and what they love to do, we stay away from their lane. And she knows to stay away from my lane because she knows she'll be like, even my mom would say, tey de ñëw nga ba dem waxuloo ma dara de ma ne ko yaa dafa am lu ma la war a wax. Ne déet dama doon laajte rek ma ne ko kon bàyyi ma dem rek.
But I can tell you one thing: when everything is said and done, and you guys are successful, and there's a comprehensive coalition.
We have a comprehensive.
Ceesay is one of the most resourceful people that I know. He's a go-to, very focused, hardworking. I can guarantee you.
She's a mess. She's a hot mess, but we still love her. like my sister, when she went home, when Ule, everybody was like, Juka, she's like, oh my goodness, it's not her.
Absolutely.
We love her, and we know she's passionate about what we do, and that's life. We all have our goals and the reason why we are in life, and I promote and support everyone to fight for what they believe and what they love. And like I said, if you don't have a stance and you don't know what you want in life, then you would not make it.
Yes.
But that being said, I know it's time for us to take a break till another time, but I just want to take this opportunity to thank for the people by the people, and you and Mr. Jaye and Mr. Sariwan. He's also one of my followers. I know he always comes on my TikTok live talk about health. And I would like to thank your viewers and your supporters. And I would say we seek advice from every individual. If you have suggestions, anything, just send it to Mr. Jeng here. He has our media outlet email. He would be more than happy to send it out, because like I said, we're only human. We're not perfect. And I am the most naive, and being the most naive and the less intelligent and the less knowledgeable person to be the chairperson of APEX. So you can only imagine. That being said, I am just asking for your prayers, and I'm asking for everyone out there that if you know who is in Team Gambia and their email address, their contact information, we are asking for it. If you know of any coalition building platforms or even opposition political parties that are wanting to join APEX, please, everyone is welcome. This is not for APEX. This is for the Gambian people. And thank you so much. And I hope I was helpful in anything that you guys wanted to know today. And if I'm not, maybe next time.
Thank you, Dr. Jaye. Definitely appreciate it. I love the conversation, and I seriously do believe, because just looking at the comments, it could have been a lot worse.
Yes, I appreciate all of you, and thank you for the comments. And hopefully I can go back and watch it and look at your comments, because all the comments, no comment is negative. All comments are positive, because we only grow and learn from it. And we would rather have comments that are not in align with our chain of thoughts, because that would just help us be better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jaye. Appreciate it. Definitely. All right. So guys, here you have it. It was, what can I say? A lively.
No deposit, flexible payment plans, and lots of discounts. Get your leave of admin today.
So guys, there you have it. Dr. Jaye Ceesay, the chairman of APEX, and an entity that is launching an effort to bring all the political parties for a comprehensive coalition of parties. And if anyone wants me to send you the link so that you can either make a commentary or give a feedback, I'm tempted to put the link on this. But now the last time I did that, it didn't work very well, but I'm going to give it another try. If anybody wants to actually come on and then give us your reaction, what you think that can be helpful in this effort that APEX is launching to bring political parties together. Here you have the link. You can come on and tell us what you think. There's the 40 People by the People StreamYard link. You can click on it and give us your general reaction. I mean, look, nobody thinks that having a comprehensive coalition of parties is going to be easy. Boy Fatty, do you want to chime in and click on the link and tell me what you think? Again, she made it very clear that all they are doing is facilitating for the opposition parties to come together, form a coalition that will give us the change that the country yearns for. And as far as APEX is concerned, it really doesn't matter to them what kind of a coalition we ended up with. It could be a party-led, it could be a 2016 type of a coalition. For them, they don't really have a set, what I would say, agenda that they are committed to. It's really going to come down to the individuals. Paos just Paos.
Well, Mr. Jang,
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Very good.
Everything.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, it's been a while.
Definitely. So what do you think about Dr. Jaye and this effort that APEX is launching?
Well, it's a welcome effort. But the thing is, so far so good. What the Republic of the TikTok wants to know,
right?
Is who are the people behind APEX? Whether will it not be just like what happened in the past? And then why is APEX reluctant to reveal who are their team members? And why haven't they come out to the public and speak? And then what route and what have they put on the table? Now, especially now when we've had Team Gambia, when we've had some parties taking position, does that derail their efforts to bring parties together, or it gives them more fire to move ahead? These are all things that we want to know. And then many people are confusing APEX. What is their interest in this? Or are they just a facilitators? Or they will be part of a forming government? So these are things that is still not very clear to people. And I, for one, have been trying to reach out to many people to get in touch with APEX to bring them onto Chambers and Smile Bag Gambia, but to no avail. And I think also APEX coming in tells a lot about our political parties in terms of their capability to come together themselves and the trust that they had within themselves, to an extent whereby somebody independent outside wants to come in and bring them together to form a coalition. It's one way or the other, not something welcoming in the country. Because we have CSC or CES, we have what we call the PAC, we have APEX now. So which of these organizations or facilitators really mean well for Gambia? Or what are political parties perceiving these people? Or how do these people define these political parties? What went wrong? Did they see a mistrust in them? Did they see the lack of transparency in them to an extent whereby they have to come in? So is APEX coming out with a clear message to Gambians to say, look, if you can't trust them, trust us. We can bring them together. Right. So that's what the concept here.
So, based on some of the answers that she gave, as far as identifying the people that are behind this effort, for her, and also we all need to hold on one second.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, we should be on. I believe we are on. Yeah. Sorry about that, Paus. I mean,
Yeah.
we're on. I believe. I want to believe that we're on. But somebody's telling me now, are we still on the show? I'm like, I think
Yes, it's I'm nga America third world country afu coach neka motax xeyna.
I'm glad Ngawakulu. He's always having a hard time talking like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're on as far as I know. Are we?
It's on the man Facebook right now. Mankogis, we
Okay.
are on.
So, Paus, I mean, this is the thing. We're putting emphasis on the people behind it. We all know that sometimes when you put emphasis on those names, you know how our people are, then perception comes in. Hey, baby, keep pati bila boka, keep pati belela bopa. So instead of focusing on what is important, meaning these people are launching an effort to bring people together, it's going to come down to focusing on nanyo musajeng nochineka or kalemo chineka or kalemo chineka. I mean, and I think, to tell you the truth, I think that is fair enough. The more you put emphasis on who are the people behind it, just look, for instance, Coalition for System Change, Yom Keba Fun, Joe Sambu. I mean, I know each and every one of them. But most of the time, it's not what they're trying to do, but people begin to question the individuals, calling them names, they're a bunch of tribalists, or they're a bunch of this, or a bunch of that. And that may derail the most important part of the task ahead, and that is trying to bring parties together. So for me, I understand what they are saying. I mean, the emphasis should not be about who are the people behind it. We know the chairperson, that's her, Dr. Jaye. And then there was an interview given on West Coast, Jaye. So those are the two people that I know. Maybe there are other individuals that are.
Because I understand. But the thing is, the family hewon something we have the Gambia. We are not in a situation being a things should happen ordinarily, just like that.
Right.
We had a transition. We had came from somewhere where the issue of trust have been questioned and been compromised. Now we have also seen individuals who were involved and then had hidden agenda. Now, if what we don't want now is again something very similar, people I'm not trying in any way trying to accuse them of anything, but
Right.
there's a perception out in there. The Republic of TikTok, when we're saying who are they, who are they, who are they? Why sa party be? Come for example, they PDIS. Many people think that Halifa calling Team Gambia, though is behind it. Now, many people think that, and most of people on TikTok were saying more Kenya SRFI is behind Apex, and this was the law then call Kafanto. But a journalist could have picked up that thing. Hang on, why would APP Sobia leadership be part of Apex, and he is the one doing these things? And then we have so far seen the emergence of many political parties, many movements, many people eager to become president now without even having no clue on what's going on. Now, when we have something like Apex coming in, Apex, I want to believe it's not a 1 man or 2 man show.
No.
Now, but then it will guarantee you more trust to Gambians and to political parties at large. Then hang on, you know what? These are credible people.
Right.
And then when they call, we answer. You know, anybody can call, but only few will get the answers that they want.
Cool.
Now, that depends on the trust of the individual.
Right.
So I think the initiative is good because Newsom political party in the Gambia, Teji, Kuneka wants to be there. It's about leadership. It's not about development.
Right.
It's not about trying to make a change.
Right.
You know, and we don't want to remove Adama and put Barrow back, or to remove Barrow or take Adama back.
Yes.
So if we're calling for system change,
Right.
and a transparent way of changing the system and the government, I think it should start with us as individual. Now, hang on. And I know Dr. Jaye, I was very surprised seeing her in politics because she's never been involved in politics. So having to chair this thing give a kind of assurance, you know what, something is going right in here.
Correct.
Wow. So, but this was my concern. But I have sent him an email many times. Dear Jao, I've spoke with him many times, and we want you on TikTok. But I guess the TikTok community is more aggressive. You know, to come in there, we got billions of questions to ask them. I'm telling you.
Right.
So
Yo, you're saying that for transparency purposes, you think if they put out the names of the people behind it, it would help the effort. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. Government wants to know because of they have a website and an email. The website is not functioning because I went up there. Now we need to know who are the people behind these things because I'm legi for Apex and this beyond Keba Fundi and now Team Gambia and what is called PAC. Now
Which
and
one
then this name came across soon program be yesterday on TikTok. There is something called PAC again. It exists. So then we want to know also these political parties, you know, who have been invited and who have responded yet so far. But governments need to.
But Apex, they were able to. I mean, today I'm sure you tune into the program. She was able to explain all of that. The parties that they got in touch with and the ones that responded. She did. I don't know whether you heard.
In fact, as we speak, I was hosting a program with Belief for National Transformation. And I saw this thing. I just capitalized. I said, you know what? This is the only way I can get into Apex to Wahlene. We want you on TikTok if you mean business.
Oh yeah, TikTok again. Our aggressive day. And
that's the thing. It's very aggressive. You know, there are two platforms that are looking for Apex, and we are hunting them badly. More Ismail Bar Gambia and the Chambers.
So who are the smart? To be honest with you, and I'm a political junkie, I've never been on any of those.
Well, we have challenged and invite all these political leaders, but before coming, you think twice before coming, and then because there it's not about you just talk and go.
Yes, Small Back Gambia. So who are you behind it? Is it just, do you have like a moderator, or is it like anybody just come in and say their piece? Because you gotta understand too.
No, yes, either the lady comes in and moderates, and we all get up, 9 of us. You are there as a guest, or it can be 1-to-1. Then we all go up and ask questions and challenge you based on what you say. Because they are aware of what's going on, and they are informed of everything. And they are either part. They are Then they are part of political parties like APP, Sobeya, and UDP. Big rivalism, and then it's all.
Yeah, bro. Most politicians are not going to subject themselves into that kind of a situation where you have.
No, but it's not a chaotic crowd. It's a very professional and organized crowd. Being the questions we ask are bang on. It's a matter of, do you know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you know what you're talking about and be confident in what you're talking about, then coming in there shouldn't be any he didn't pay. Senako text our wave number, he did not pay.
Never doubt it.
Wow. You know, but we love to have Apex, and I love the idea.
Basama would tell you, man, I have a challenge. TikTok is not really my thing. I mean, hardly I will go on TikTok, but it looks like that's where the action is.
Yes.
And I can understand why some of these politicians are not very comfortable coming on TikTok. Really. I'm going to all of the water chamonyu.
But again, if all it takes is you know what you're saying and you are confident in what you're saying, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all we need. You know, and then because of if you look at the CEPA survey, you are wondering that TikTok is among the social media handles that people are now using. So it works. Look at America and TikTok, the elections.
So let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, you're out there, serious political follower. What do you think about this whole coalition thing? Do you think we're going to get one or not?
You know what, if you ask me, now UDP have put up their stand,
right,
but did not rule out a coalition. Right. But I respect their position. Now, every other political party have said they're not going for a party-led coalition. Now, technically, in an ideal world, the bigger party comes and lead a coalition government. and the rest becomes or is subject to negotiations. But then, in the case of the Gambia, it's different. The case of the Gambia is not the case of any other country in the world where a coalition straight happens without any precedents being set previously. Now, something happened in the Gambia 2005 and 2016, and again, it's about to happen. Now, UDP as a political party, if you ask me, they have lost the moral position to claim they are the biggest. Yes, they're the biggest. They have all the mayors, they have all the councillors. But then there is something that is attached to all these things, which is bigger than all these numbers they have. Moreland to trust. Because once upon a time, we went together and something happened. Now, we also have what is called Team Gambia by Halifa. Now, this was the question we raised to APEX was, because APEX, they gave a statement, a press release that was out there. Then all of a sudden we see Halifa come out with Team Gambia. All of a sudden we see then again UDP coming out with a statement. Now, that means there's a problem between political parties, the issue about trust and leadership. Now, all these things, connecting the dots together. The timing of APEX coming out with a statement, and the timing Halifa coming out, and the timing UDP coming out. And the timing that previously GDC also speaking. Now, all these things happen within a space of 1 week.
Right.
In our political landscape, which means there are the problems in the country. And the issue is about kuneka munge gets to demba. So tay punyo neka together, dafa difficult pull elect muna neex. Now, what does it mean for Gambia and 2026 elections? It means we have guaranteed a win for President Adama Barrow right now. But again, people are saying that things could happen within 2 months or 3 months.
Right.
That's where we went wrong again the last time.
Right.
Because things happen within 3 months.
Right.
Now, if we want to wait until 3 months down the line, they reconcile. Well, they may have an individual to lead a coalition and remove Adam Barrow and implant an individual. But then, what programs have they managed to work with?
Exactly.
Because we're looking at people coming together right now to join forces. And what would they do? Come up with a program that reflect a coalition program, not a party policy. Then, if that is not done, then in 3 months or 2 months' time, they don't have the time. They're mobilizing funds, they're mobilizing their structures, they're trying to consolidate all their efforts and resources together to go to the length and breadth of the Gambia. To counter, this president, he can spend up to 200 million on his next elections. So now, where do we stand? So coalition right now, no more, I see UDP contesting alone, and Nibugadema APEX will go, and Nibugadema Team Gambia will go. But again, I want to believe Halifa would go into Team Gambia or go into APEX and sell or harmonize Team Gambia efforts with APEX efforts. And then I want to believe all these other parties will come together and it becomes the coalition versus Barrow versus UDP.
So
and then, and again, UDP, look at the last rally who happened with UMC. That would have been the normal crowd of UDP in a campaign. So the issue of numbers is still now a big question out in there. Whether linga amount down that didn't go out rent. So believe more small analysis. I start to be challenged on these things, but again,
So I hear you right. You're basically saying what is going to come down.
Most bilingual Akimo program why?
No, call me. Pazama. Hay mana la ngane tek aral.
Mane call loma. Mangi de lubo wetay. Pa osa gembele bele rek.
No telephone ambia. Anga America third world country. Anga waru.
No kum nek ñu third world. No, most mangi de lu pa os. I think ne pa os being the conspiracy theorist that he is. Because of a very coincidence why they are broken. Because Team Gambia is nothing new. It's something that Halifa had talked about for a very, very long time and said that he would present it at the Congress. And if the party endorses it, then he would work on it. That's been there for a very, very long time. And what had happened was when we had our Congress, and this is now speaking, when Doi had the Congress and had to postpone it, that idea was not presented. So it so happened that when it was presented, that coincided with Team APEX coming up with their statement. And when it came to, for the UDP, that was at a press conference that Hussein was asked a question and he answered. And if you had followed coalition building in the Gambia since 2001 to date, that has always been UDP's position, that they should lead, people should come and join them because of they're the largest party. Now, the conundrum that we have in the Gambia in terms of coalition building, and people will always say, but anywhere in the world, the largest party, anywhere in the world, they have second round of voting. If we had second round of voting, we would not be talking about coalition building right now, because it will be mano a mano. The top two will go to the second round, and then you can build your coalition. And that is what happened in Senegal, and that's what happened in everywhere. Even this argument that they make, the largest party, when Maki ran, Maki was not the largest party. It was Idris Seck and all those other people. Marty's party was new. It was not even tested. But when they went to the polls, he got, I think, about 23% or so. Wada got about 30-something%. And now it was like, you know what, the two big dogs will now go at it. But here is the thing, though, with coalition building. People must understand that no political party is obligated to enter into one. Period. Because every political party was created for a reason. Now, you can choose to join a coalition, but you do not have to join a coalition because it's not obligatory. And secondly, Gambia is not where where we are today is very different from where we were in 2016. We do not have a mad dictator running the country. It's different. So the urgency, I don't think, is as dire as it was. Now, for me, I want Barrow defeated because I don't want to see anybody be president for more than 2 terms. In fact, if I have my way, 1 term is enough. And with APEX, to me, all this, and I've said this thing on your platform, Paus, all these people you show, oh, we have APEX here, we have Coalition for System Change, we have this thing. Listen, every time you talk about coalition, there will be different efforts by different people to bring the parties together. And that happened even in 2016. But at the end of the day, they were able to, there was able to be a convergence where they came and then say, you know what, let's do this thing all together. That can still happen. So those who are interested in coalition, keep on keeping on. Those who think that your party is big enough to defeat Barrow, do your thing. There are different ideas here, and this is where the challenge is, because there are people, let's say, if you talk to somebody like Karamba Toure, he believes that if everybody goes their way and do what they can do, they will be able to chip away a lot of votes from Barrow, and then one of these forces could win. I do not believe that. I believe that if they go, even if they go 3 parties, 3 candidates against Barrow, Barrow is going to win. I believe that 100%. I may be wrong. The only time that Barrow would lose if Barrow goes mano on mano against one person, because he does not have the popularity, and I think people will want to vote for somebody else. But if it is more than one candidate, Barrow is going to win, even if it's going to be by 1 vote. But again, what I'm going to say is people, just like I like APEX, you know, they have some very honest people like D.A. Jaye, you know, Dr. Jaye. As soon as they mentioned D.A. to me, I was fine because of knowing D.A. I've worked with D.A. since in the Gambia when we started Amnesty International in the Gambia. You cannot deal with somebody who is more honest than D.A. Jaye. Coalition for System Change. People who have ideas about coalition building have been there in the trenches, have gotten their hands dirty in Keba Foon, Joe Sambo, and all these people. So it's going to be interesting. At the end of the day, let's just understand there is nobody obligated to be in a coalition. It's a choice that parties must make, and we must respect that. But to also finally to all the different forces that are also doing coalition, here's their challenge too. You cannot be calling on me to unite with somebody else when you cannot also unite. The uniters must also unite among themselves first before they can unite somebody else. I don't know whether that makes sense.
Basically, you're saying APEX, Coalition for System Change, PAC, whatever, they should be able to team Gambia.
If they cannot come together and work together to make it work, they have no business accusing everybody of not putting the Gambia first. The uniters must unite first to be able to unite people. You cannot be divided and then be seen as a uniter. But again, it is what it is. Anyway, now the what? Paus, man,
Yes.
I'm a socialist. Yango Salwani. So those capitalist tendencies, yobuko si Musajen. Why I listen to you guys? Hi, man.
Chukulor. Kala yangi mute de.
Yang ma dega. Gis nga yow Musa Jeng. Say ma ñëwé fi ding ma indil technical problem. Musa Jeng yow bugu loma de Musa.
Man numa la. So Tukulor, I'm sure that you were following Dr. Jaye Ceesay.
Oh yes.
So what's your take on some of the pronouncement that she made? I mean, smart lady, really.
Yeah.
Really
So gis nga suma na hari dere gina. One of the things that I have refused to do to myself is to sit down and be fooled by anybody.
Yes.
So after 2021, nga hamne talk na fi 1 week my joy na baro win because expect tomorrow baro dina win.
Wow.
After that, I decided not to be naive anymore. One thing I like about ñom Jaye, you know, nit ki suy wax deklu li mo wax bu baaxa baaxa. She yo tay Jaye num la buggé ak num la respecté. She came here with the utmost discipline.
Yes.
You know, yo nek nga ko xamne Musa Jeng ku mus ga ya pandere am college su nit ñëwé su bu ko joy answer sa dingeen ko forcé mu joy answer buñ bu ko ta joy. But she sat here and she was disciplined.
Yes.
Okay. Another thing that she said, te dama bëgg Gambians yu bay ko xel bu baaxa ba, mu ne ñom seen xaalis ñom seen bopa. Seen xaalis lañ dé tek. Towards this thing. Why suñ démé bañ aga fu ñu aga dina ñëw ci ñun. Gis nga ñun GDF suñ liggéey ba lam li fi non yépp time bobu nonu we didn't put our own monies until we started raising funds. Kon nga xamne ñi li ñoo def nekkuti fi caaxante ñor na leen. Amna coalition building teams yoo xamne Musa Jeng, you and I both know. Munu ngoni bari na si ron amna seen perceived candidate, potential candidate, waaye ñu ñoom ñu naan dañoo def coalition building fekk lu ñun ñëpp xam nañ fu ñu lifin jublu. But one thing I can tell you about Jaye Ceesay mooy ne Jaye Ceesay ñàkkul booba fayda pour ñëw toog si sa show bi fii di la fenal ne maa ngi bokkuma fii te fekk bokk na. I can tell you for free ne bokkut fen. She is on Team Gambia because this is 2021. Ñun bañ nekkee social media di lifinal UDP. You know what she did? She decided even though she didn't want Barrow to win, she was making videos for us to post.
Right.
Telling Gambians why they should not vote for Adama Barrow.
Barrow, correct.
But she didn't align herself with any political party. For her, it was more like vote for anybody but Barrow. So that is why ñom Jaye bi ma déggee APEX, I had a lot of hope in them because dama ne gis nga ñoom su ñëwee man dama bëgg anybody koo xam ne yaa ngi def coalition building na nga nekk nit koo xam ne da nga déggu na nga nekk nit koo xam ne you're neutral. You cannot come and talk about coalition building when you belong somewhere. It's not going to be possible to you.
Definitely.
You have to be neutral. DA Jawo can it's a good thing you banya tuda ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk because yoo xam nga what will happen. Dinañ dem ñu attaque leen xas leen dugga fii gën a soo gisee mu ne leen Jaye dara xamal leen Jaye dul moo tax. So the way they are doing this, they calculated it. You talk. You also fake and Union Gambians. We have interest in a viable coalition to remove Adama Barrow. Then let's just focus on how are these people gonna get us there. When they are ready, we will do what we do best.
Exactly.
So Gambia is in dire straits. We need to make sure we focus and keep our eyes on the prize instead of going after each other. Gambian bisuki se dara bala mo xam lan la min sa lady walk, APEX ni APEX na le. So far what APEX is doing lo la gina am yakar than anything I've seen. I am 100% behind APEX because the people that I know in APEX man tu Jaye Jawo ak Jaye Ceesay rek la xam de xam na fa ñu bari. Te ñu ñep li leen dugal ci li nekkut ne ku ci nekk is self-made.
So what do you say to the supposedly lack of transparency that maybe they should just put the names out of the people that are behind this effort? Would that make a difference?
But I just told you why the transparency, right now, when you put the names out, political parties is in Bopa, them lobby those people. This is the reality of who we are as Gambians. Instead of new focus, this is leadership. In leadership, For example, man, I have been on many boards.
Mm-hmm.
You get appointed on your boards by people who believe that you will carry the work of the institution for them.
Correct.
So whatever happens behind those doors doesn't come out. You see the minutes, and that's it. So man, I'm seeing this as a board that is out there trying to build something that will get us to where we need to be. Man, then you have to believe in them. So talking like banga dega ñu ne ndekete Jaye mom UDP la ndekete die jaaw sax mom naka si movement bi la bokk movement ni talib. Then you can say, and I don't trust these people. But the moment they say the names, people are going to trash them around.
Absolutely.
And then send focus bi nekk di dinañ fa génn man daal man personally Musa Jeng dégg nga ma wax, you know, nothing against ñoom Keba Phone, but when they came out, I'm like, I know UDP is not going to show up because these people they don't get along with UDP.
Yeah.
And then there are people ñoo xam ne ñi SAFA la ñoo support, and then ñeneen ñi ne Lamin Dabo la ñoo support. So you cannot have any movement pour mu dem kanam te fekk nit ñi suspect nañ ne yow di sangam ka support.
Definitely.
ñi nag ñoom dañ taxaw ne ñoom Gambia lañ gis, and they are putting their money where their mouths are. Gis nga loolu rek man doy na ma Musa.
No, without a doubt. Moom de legit, wax dëgg yàlla.
Yeah.
Like I said, Dr. Jaye Ceesay, I have never, and I've been in politics for a long time, you know, and comme ni ma ko doon wax rek, my wife is always listening to her. She showed him there, I'm helped Shobi. That's what she's for. And D.A. Jao, I don't think there is a human being in Gambia that will question integrity. All D.A. Jao wants more for these parties to come together so that Barrow can be defeated and be replaced with a very good system change that we've all been hoping for.
Absolutely.
Now, again, I can tell you that, because it is a very, very, very difficult and complex with a lot of moving parts.
Musa Jeng, I'll make a big disclaimer here. Man, support to my band party that is going it alone ever again.
Badu.
The Adama Barodore UDP 1 week. Rusewe makaragale mango deman says to my Facebook timeline. 1 week I was like devastated. Dama joy masona.
Yeah.
So this was an election boy I thought we had it in the bag.
Yes.
But in Africa, gisuma any system we win to define a strong, viable coalition.
Do you remember it?
So, Mandal Manlena, to be honest with you, another thing that I have done this time around so that I don't get hurt, Dama decide, you know what? I cannot want a better Gambia than the people that are seeking a better Gambia.
Yes.
So Dama decide, like, so if I can talk na better Gambia be ñoo joy ñoom jaradul len ko political parties jaradul len ko
man jaradul mako
kon de man tamit so man maa ngi toog fii maa suma njaboot you know lu ma mën a defal Gambien si suma mbokkay ma defal leen ko waaye man de America laa dikate America gisuma suma bopp di ñibbi Gambia right now de Musa Jeng because Gambia fi mu nekk la fa nekk doyut ma I'm sorry. So whatever we're doing, we're not doing it because we want some, because if we wanted something for ourselves konon dem nañu jot suñu liggéey ba ndaaxal ñu ba ñëpp si. So at this point, it is left to the political parties. We want for them what we have gotten for ourselves. If they don't want it, then that's their problem. Why could you mbaga neman map genar UDP, ñoo genare ñooy lead, Sebeya, so let you the vice president, president doing them, UMC, we are big enough, we can go. Set affaire la. Man fim nekk ni daal. I'm gonna dama siisu suma gisee loo xam ne diggal na kecc dinaa leen support. Why? Musa Jeng, think about it. Even if we have a strong coalition, defeating an incumbent government resources
is still very difficult.
And the longer they play this game of, kuneka mala upadole man may them yodo them, let them do that. By now they should get organized because Barrow is already ahead of them.
Yep.
So they need to organize themselves right now and get on the wagon.
The Hamgasa, what people are missing. Comprehensive coalition, all the parties coming together, absolutely fundamental. But how they come together is equally important, because so form a coalition and you come together in a certain way, bo hamne, nini gisit chisen bopa, guarantee you ne, he will be defeated, even by coming together. So how they come together is absolutely essential. Everyone has to be on board, believe in it. Whether UDP law, whether Doyle, whether UMC law, whether the new parties, they have to embrace it. Get this and Bopa so that supporters munche gis and Bopa. If that happens, I think Barrow is vulnerable.
Exactly.
Any day. Barrow is so close. I'm telling you. I mean, we saw it in the polls. 60-something% didn't want him to run. They don't think he's managing the economy well. So Barrow is vulnerable, but up to some extent. Really, it's up to some extent. If anybody think those polling data, well, we can win it all by ourselves, or the game rationalize. I mean, I hear UDP the way they rationalize it. Even the party that I support, support party. This time around, I decided to get my hands dirty. Even if UMC believes that they can win it alone, man behind the scenes, I'll tell them what I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and fool anyone.
Nobody can go.
It's a huge challenge for any party. Now, you can always carve out a pathway. Now, if we do this, then I'm going to win. Yeah, on paper. But when it comes down to it, electorate Bimagis Gambia, I was there for 3 weeks. Ninyimagis, the Gambia that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I won't put my bet on it there.
Nope.
It's not the Gambia that you and I grew up in.
No.
It's not. It's a totally different country.
Yo Musa Jeng, Yaya Jammeh neka di rey nit ñi, di noot nit ñi. So even bobu nonu sax biñ démé through a coalition, how many thousand?
18,000.
18,000 votes. So Gambians ba pare fim neka ni. Adama Barrow is very dangerous. Adama Barrow knows how to pull at people's heartstrings. Ko xamne amulon ndox nga indil ko ndox. Koku du dem ak ken sudut yow. Ko xamne amul courant nga indil ko courant. Dina ne indil nañu lo xamne ken dedet ñun ki pare na te fekk after election bi du ñëwati. But the Gambians are so tired. You know, luñ am jail. So that is the danger of African politics. Yep. So ñun suñ boppa ñoo xam li ba pare tok di taytaylu. Political parties yi nak suñ toogee ñu ne ñoom dañoo toog di def seen press releases yu du jeex ak yoo noonu ñu bañ a toog come together and salvage our country. Then Musa Jeng is left to them, you know. So anyway, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, 8 powers. Final. I'll leave the last word. Final.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. But I only wish APEX well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like I said, I can't speak any more or less apart from when I saw Dr. Jaye involved. Te musuma gis into politics dam koy setan. I know she is unique amongst the team. Lulu ñep dañ ko establish te ñep ku wax diga ak say yalla rek. We have to accept that fact. Ne ci lim bok rek is something pam. Why tamit comme niko antit ko waxe rek, if we have to conceal based on they maybe compromise and want to sacrifice Dr. Jaye only and use all her personal attributes, Broko define the whole of APEX, then I don't think it's fair for APEX and it's fair for the Gambians. And then again, it's further shows negative people are not just ordinary people. There's something behind them. They only do well when they conceal their identity. But again, I think Mandal, on behalf of the TikTok Republic, we want to see, or if possible, if they want to, and if that is their internal policy, by so and all means they can go by it. But it would be nice if we know the people behind the APEX, and then what are they doing, and then what stage they are now after being this pronouncement of Team Gambia and UDP statement. What does it ndax daf leen gina nasaxloo or ndax daf leen gina yokk jom for them to move ahead. But beside that, I wish them good luck and any other party that feel you can win Barrow alone and just after and yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And again, thanks to all our viewers. It was another Sunday with 40 people by the people. My colleagues, they will all be back hopefully next Sunday, inshallah. And I still want to say happy Ramadan in advance. Xaw ma naa jaañeen ñi am na ku ma tooñ xam naa ne yàkkamtiwut affaire yi ak ñangeen yeeg mbengeen yi yàkkamtiwuñ affaire yi waaye ñun ñi nga xam ne ñun dañoo or 2 days in a row ñun jangeen ñi moom loolu du suñ problème But we'll definitely be back next Sunday, and we want to thank Dr. Jaye, definitely. We get in touch with them, and they were able to facilitate this conversation. And again, we want to thank who else?
No deposit, flexible payment plans, and lots of discounts. Get your legal apartment today.
Thank you, Global Properties, and we will be back next Sunday, inshallah. Thank you.